Hello artists, I'm Thomas and today we're going to be going through the portfolio that got me into the Royal Drawing School Foundation, which in terms of education was my best year ever. The 1 year that I had at the Royal Drawing School Foundation was better than my 3 years at University of the Arts London. Hands down, not even a question. So I'm going to be going through my work that got me into that foundation course, and if you do get in, make sure you go. So I guess a little bit of context, the work that I'm going to be showing in this video isn't my absolute complete portfolio because it's been years and years. I don't have all of the work. I threw a lot of it, I threw some of it away. But what I will be showing is kind of from old photos / what I still have, and you'll understand completely the mindset and the kind of work you need to be producing to submit in the portfolio and what worked for me. As for the kind of portfolio submission process and stuff, it kind of changes, so make sure obviously mine might be a tiny bit different to what it might be today, but it might not be. So what I'll do is I'll put some footage and B-roll on the screen of the work in my portfolio that I still have, and some old photos that I managed to scavenge from my hard drive, and then you'll hear commentary on top of me explaining everything. So I guess first of all is the fact that I actually did a couple of paid courses at University of the Arts London, where they help you prepare your portfolio for submission. So I actually had tutors associated with University of the Arts London helping me build this portfolio. The portfolio was 20 pages in total, and in my opinion was an absolute mix of just everything. Bear in mind that foundation level schools are not looking for a refined artist with a branded style. It's actually a disadvantage if you're putting through a portfolio that is only displaying one type of work. In my own portfolio, you can see that I had traditional landscape paintings I did in my A-levels, which were a decent display of painting skills. But if my whole portfolio was just full of landscapes or artist studies or something like that, I'm sure I would have been just rejected by everyone. Now here's the funny business. What the UAL short course got me to do was display a ridiculous amount of experimentation with both concepts and materials. I had abstract pieces, conceptual stuff, an artwork made from bread, which I now think is a complete and utter waste of bread. But all this random work was showing one thing, that I was an open-minded student who was working with ideas and materials outside of my comfort zone. These strange works that I created and had put throughout my portfolio were actually key works that created conversation during my interview. I remember specifically the tutors at the Royal Drawing School asking about the weird, wacky stuff and not the more obvious traditional landscapes. I also remember being honest about what I thought about those weird pieces. I literally said I was super uncomfortable making them. I didn't like the aesthetic, but then gave my thoughts on how the process of making them pushed me outside of my comfort zone and enabled me to think differently about certain things. Bear in mind I was very much a drawer and a painter back then too. So doing abstract sculpture, conceptual stuff, and artwork from bread was completely new to me, and I had no idea what I was doing, simply following exercises and instructions from my University of the Arts short course. Funnily enough, the UAL short course got me a place at the Royal Drawing School Foundation and one other foundation, but University of the Arts London themselves rejected me. I'm actually so glad that they did, because if I did get accepted by UAL, I probably would have gone to UAL over the Royal Drawing School, which in my opinion would have been the worst decision ever. I guess in conclusion, you can see that my portfolio is a huge mix of different styles, concepts and materials, which all show that I'm open-minded, willing to experiment and go out of my comfort zone to learn. Through the traditional landscapes and the observational drawings, I'm also appealing to the style of the teaching at the Royal Drawing School, which is that observational drawing is the artistic foundation to your practice. I remember genuinely looking at my portfolio and thinking, how the hell is this going to get me anywhere? But it did, so. Also some quick tips. You want to put your best works on the first page, in the middle, and also right at the end, so there's a balance of your best pieces at the start, middle and end. This is so the ones reviewing your portfolio have a constant high over your work from the beginning to end, with the mediocre stuff sandwiched between your best pieces. And with that, maybe it will come as a surprise to you, but that is what got me into the Royal Drawing School Foundation. And yeah, the competition I think for that course was like when I was applying was about 10 people to one place. So the competition was high because it's a very small cohort, a very cozy course, which is why it's so amazing. You get tons of tutor time and amazing interaction. You feel like just one class that is all as kind of one unit rather than individuals separated in a big institution. It's really nice. But yeah, I hope you have a better idea of now what you should be putting together when it comes to a foundation year portfolio. Yeah, if you have any more questions, you can ask in the comment section below, or you can DM me on my Instagram, which is popping up here now. And as for that, I guess here is my awkward goodbye.